welcome to my channel, Sandy Toe Tarot. My name is Laura. I'm going to do another pick a card reading today. This will be the yes or no pick a card. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done one. I like to keep a fresh one out there because people have new questions all the time. So that's what I'm going to do today. It will be a situation where I have the piles laid out for you. I'll have some stones on them and you can choose whichever pile is speaking to you or whichever pile you think is going to answer your question. Please think of your question before you choose the pile. That's usually the best way to do it. You can choose based on the stone, the crystal that's on the pile. You can choose based on just the pile number. You can choose using your intuition. Just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, and then when you open your eyes, whichever pile you're drawn to, that's probably the one for you. It is the one for you, actually. Don't second guess it. Just go with your gut instinct. Some people also like to choose from the timestamp in the description box below, and I will have that out there again this time. I'll do the timestamps so you can, after you choose your pile, go directly to your reading. Thank you guys for being a part of the Sandy Toe community. I really enjoy reading your comments, and I'm glad that you come to look at these readings, and I hope that you get something out of them. Thank you so much for giving them a thumbs up when you like them. It helps the channel, and it also helps me. And I appreciate you guys for subscribing and for passing the information about my channel along to other people that you think might be interested. If you have not already done so, please do subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified when I do upload a new video. So this is going to be the last pick a card, yes or no pick a card reading for the year of 2020. I think so many people are glad to see it, see the backside of 2020. It's been a really interesting year. I think as we kind of go through the early stages of 2021, we'll start to see, you know, just exactly what the outcome of 2020 has been. Things have been changed forever, and in some ways that's going to be really good. In some ways it'll be a bit of an adjustment for us. Whatever else 2020 was, I think for a lot of us it was an opportunity to just take a break, to just decompress, to separate from our normal routines and the things that we just keep doing rotely, you know, just on autopilot kind of thing. So it did give us an opportunity to disrupt those patterns and then let us reflect on what we want going forward. So if you have final questions for 2020, this is going to be your opportunity to get some answers. As I said, I'll put the camera down so that you can choose the pile that's speaking to you, and we'll just go ahead and get on with the reading. Welcome back, my friends. So as you see, I have 4 piles here to choose from today. On pile 1, we have a Malachite. On pile 2, that hot pink stone, maybe just an agate. I don't know. Really, I need to research that. On pile 3, a Sodalite. And on pile 4, the Cinnabar quartz crystal. I chose these just because they're a little colorful. And I felt like being a little bit colorful today. So go ahead and choose your pile, and I'll put timestamps in the description box below, and then you can go directly to your reading. So again, this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Make your choice, and I will see you at your reading. Okay, pile 1. If you chose this Malachite stone and pile 1, these are going to be your messages for the yes or no pick a card. I'm going to try to make this really short and sweet today. I've tried that before, but you know how it goes. I just have to give you the messages that I get, so sometimes they can get kind of lengthy. I have several cards here, and as you know, I'll pull them all out at the same time for the yes or no. We'll start here with the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. You got the Emperor card, the King of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. Just for clarification for these messages through tarot, I took a couple of the Druid Craft Tarot, you got the Hanged Man and the Death card. Okay, I do feel like this is a yes for my pile ones. You got several major arcana. You got the Death, the Hanged Man, and the Emperor card here. So that's strong messages. No, I don't. I'm not going to pull these yet. I'm going to hold off on these for a minute. Okay, so let's just talk about what we got here. First of all, you have the Emperor card, and the Emperor is the major arcana for Aries. It is also the card of the Father Order. It comes along when you are establishing yourself out in the world and you're doing it through the conventional masculine things like stepping into your power, doing things in a methodical, step-by-step way, controlling the situation, and I don't mean that in the bad way. Like we can sometimes we can think of people who are controlling as, controlling. But this is not that kind of control. It's a control as in your mental capacities are in really good order right now. You're establishing yourself in the world by controlling the things around you that you can control in order to reach your goals. So interestingly enough, this is the major arcana for Aries. This is the minor arcana for Aries. So let's talk about what Aries is a little bit, because there's definitely that energy on the table. Aries is a fire sign, and fire signs are very energetic. They're optimistic. They can be really adventurous. They're passionate people. And Aries is, just a really interesting character because of that sense of adventure that they have, right? If this is not an Aries, it's an older gentleman who has had a lot of adventures, so he has a lot of great stories to tell. He's that person at the bar that you want to listen to because he'll be talking all night long about his adventures and people will be enthralled. He is a great storyteller because he has just been around and he's seen a lot of stuff. There are two signs that to me are very entrepreneurial. They're very business owner kind of signs. One of them is Aries and the other is Leo. When I see those cards, you have to at least consider the fact that maybe you're dealing with business owners, because they are just so good in business. They're a little bit of a rebel. They're not so great at following orders themselves. A lot of times they will want to work for themselves. So to me, that's what this energy kind of looks like going on here. If you are asking about some business proposition that you think you want to get into, this is absolutely a yes. And for some of you, I think that you want to do this. You want to go out and establish yourself in the world in some business of your own, because you're in an Eight of Swords situation. And the Eight of Swords is kind of a feeling, it's definitely feeling stuck. It's feeling like there's no way out. Like, as a good example, like being stuck in a dead-end job. You hate your job, yet you need to have that income to support your family. So that makes you feel like you don't have a choice but to stay stuck in this dead-end job. Some of you, I think, want to get out of it. I think that you want this transformation. You want this to end, this situation that you're stuck in that looks like a situation of working for someone else. You want that to end. You want to go out and establish yourself in your own business. And these cards saying that if you do that, that's going to be successful. That's a yes. That's yes, it's going to happen. You might have to go unconventional on this, though. Because you got the Hanged Man here, and sometimes the Hanged Man is the card of an adult timeout is what I call it. But it is sometimes self-imposed, taking a time out to look at things from a different perspective, or sometimes it is imposed upon you, like you are taking a time out to look at things from a different perspective because nothing's moving forward. There is a lot of stagnation, and 2020 would absolutely be one of those years where there was a lot of stagnation that was not self-imposed. It was imposed upon us. A lot of not movement. So for some of you, I think that's why you want out of this, because you feel like you're stagnating in this little job that you have that, yes, does pay the bills, but it does not fulfill you in any way. So the Death card is also the major arcana card for Scorpio. So I don't know if something happened in Scorpio season, which would be late October, early November, that made this come to a head and made you decide, I don't know how, I can't see how to get out of this situation, but I have got to get out of this dead-end job. And for some of you, it may be that you lost your job, like you were laid off or something. These cards are asking you to look at things from a different perspective. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to be stuck in a dead-end job. You have something that you offer to the world, that you can offer to the world. You have a business idea that the world wants right now or needs right now, and if you just take the time to look at things, to look at your situation from a different perspective, you will see what that is. The last card that we have over here is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a Pisces. It's a minor arcana card for Pisces. And so Pisces people that's a water sign. And the water signs are very observant, mysterious, intuitive. Page of Cups is definitely a card of intuition and using your intuition, but it's also a card of something else for me. And I'm feeling like that's kind of what it is in this particular reading, but I'll pull these cards before I make that decision. But this is also a card of having fun. It's a card of frivolity. It's a card of, it can't be serious all the time. Life can't be so serious all the time. You have to remember to have fun. So I do feel like for some of you, your business idea might have something to do with entertainment, or something that's considered fun. Maybe you teach people how to surf, and the reason I say I'm being drawn to like water sports is because of what's in this card right here too, that he is by the ocean, and it is a water sign, and there is a fish in the cup. So that's kind of watery to me. This doesn't have to be for everybody. For the collective, I do feel like that your job idea, if you take the time to look at things from a different perspective, this entrepreneurial idea is more fun. It's more frivolous. You don't have to slave away at a dead-end job day in and day out to make a living. These cards are telling you that you can make a living doing something that you actually enjoy doing, and other people will enjoy doing it too. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull these cards. For the angels and ancestors, I asked the question, what words of wisdom can you provide for pile 1, or what guidance can you get? And you got air guardian, shift your perspective. Perception. Shift your perception. And for the sacred traveler, I asked the question, what action does pile 1 need to take, if any? What do they need to do? And you got discovering truth. You stand in the light of truth. So what's really cool about this card is he's very clearly going his own way. There's this path here. There's this path here, and there's these 2 older gentlemen here that absolutely know the way down this path. But instead of asking these guys how to do this, he's saying, okay, I'm going to go my own way. I'm going to try my own thing. And these 2 messages just absolutely fit into the rest of this message. Shift your perception. Again, a change of perspective. That's why you go into hangman mode. Take a time out. Look at things from a different perspective. Shift your perception about what work must be. I think I've said this before. I am from the Midwest. In the Midwest, you would never, they're just very practical people. When you got out of high school or when you got out of college, you went and you got a stable job. You stayed in that job forever. You used that job to pay your bills, to raise your family, to save for your retirement, all those things. It's just a very, very practical environment. You would never, if you were from the Midwest, in the time frame that I was growing up in the Midwest, you would never tell your parents you wanted to be a musician and you were going to do that for a living. I mean, you could, but you'd be leaving home for sure. They would not support that decision for the most part. You wouldn't tell them, so I want to lead fishing expeditions for a living. That's what I want to do. I want to take people out and show them where they can catch fish. I want to be a tour guide for fishermen. That's not something that you would tell them. That's stuff you do for fun. That is not stuff you do for work. So, this reading is asking you to take your own path. Don't follow the way of the world. Don't follow the tried and true. Don't follow the conventional wisdom in this situation. Just don't do it. You want to strike out on your own and do something that you want to do, that you love to do, that will be fun for you and will be fun for other people too. And because it's fun for all of you, they will pay you for it. And that's how you start your own business and you make your own living. So, for pile 1, it's a definite yes. The message is, if you want to start a business that's not practical, that provides some entertainment to the community, and you want to make a living at it, this is saying, yep, you can do it and it's going to work. And it's saying, don't be afraid to go your own way. Let me look and see if I see anything. I mean, that message is so succinct all throughout that I just don't. I think a lot of you for most people are want to do your own thing, want to start your own business. If it's not starting your own business in the entertainment industry or something that's fun, it's definitely working in that industry and establishing yourself in a more fun industry and not in something that you hate quite frankly hate doing. You feel trapped in it. A dead-end job. Okay, let's talk about people one more time. You got Pisces, Aries, and Scorpio. You may be one of those signs, or someone else who's involved in this situation may be one of those signs, or not. They may not. That's just the energies also that are on the card, in the cards. Okay, I think that's all I have for pile 1. Until next time, I'm sending you guys lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, guys. If you chose pile 2 for your yes and no pick a card messages, this is for you. Again, pile 2 had the hot pink stone on it. I have no idea what it is. I just love it. So you provided your own meaning for that stone. So I'm going to start with the tarot first, and then we'll talk about these oracle cards here. So you got the 5 of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. Okay. Just for further messages from the Druid Craft Tarot deck, you got Cernunnos and Ace of Pentacles. Oh, okay, guys. What's today? I think I'm filming this on the 15th, maybe 16th of December. Yeah, the 16th of December. And the reason I mention that is because in the Druid Craft Tarot, this card represents, among other things, and we'll talk about the other things, it represents the winter solstice. So that is December 21st. So that might be a timing for you guys. But let's talk about what's happening here. Well, first of all, you are getting a new beginning. Aces are always new beginnings. And the Ace of Pentacles indicates a new beginning in financially. Could be a new job. Could be something material. There's some new, like you're changing homes maybe. You're getting some new beginning in the material realm. But the new beginnings that come out of the aces are always have the hand of God in it. So this is from the divine. So whatever it is that is being offered to you in this new beginning that's happening, it is a gift from the divine. All right, so you do have the 5 of Cups over here, and traditionally the 5 of Cups is a card of mourning. You do notice that he has 3 cups over here, and he is very focused on those 3 cups. That is a loss to him, these 3 cups, whatever it is, and it's going to be different things for all of you guys. There's definitely some loss that has happened. Maybe people have exited your life. Doesn't necessarily have to be like a relationship. It could be like friends that you've lost. People sometimes move away. Maybe someone has moved away. This is an emotional loss because it is represented by the cups. However, some things can be very emotional, like the loss of a job. That could be very emotional. Something has been lost here for sure, because this person is just a little bit in a state of depression or just sadness. It doesn't have to be like a clinical depression or something, but they're very sad, and they are very focused on what has been lost. That's why we say they're in a state of mourning, because they are focusing on that which is lost. If this guy were to turn around, he would see that there are 2 cups back here. So the message of this card is, don't spend so much time mourning the loss that you fail to look at what you have left to build some. There's something left from. What you have left to build from. There is something left to build from. That's what this card says. Something remains that you can use to move forward and go on with your life. So, I feel like maybe this is a state of where you guys have been, because I do feel like you are definitely moving forward. And did I say this is a yes? By the way, this pile 2 is definitely a yes. I just got so caught up in what I saw here in the cards. I may have skipped that part. Okay. So the reason I say some of you have turned around to see what is left to build from, because next to this card you have the 2 of Wands, which is actually a card of looking out on the world to see where you want to go next. What do you want to do next? I always say when I get this card, this guy's not looking out at his options that are local to him. He's not looking in his own backyard to see whether he wants to go to restaurant A or restaurant B for dinner on Saturday night. This guy is looking out at the whole world to see what he wants to do next. And the reason I emphasize that is because you got the Knight of Wands, which is definitely a knight of adventure. So knights are always movement. They're always bringing things into our lives. Sometimes this can be a young man that's looking for an adventure. Sometimes it can be a young man who's looking for a sexual adventure, and I'll tell you why I say that here in a minute too. But for some of you, you've looked out on the world and you've decided what you want to do, what adventure you want to next, and here it comes. It's coming in very, very soon. This is fast-moving energy. It's not as fast as the Knight of Swords, but it is definitely game on energy. It's like, here we go. It's happening. We're having an adventure, and this is a new beginning. So you guys are off. You're off on a new adventure. Okay, let's talk about Cernunnos. So this is the number 15 in the Major Arcana deck. And if we were talking about the regular Rider-Waite deck, this would be the Devil. There is no devil in the Druid craft tarot. There's no evil in the Druid tradition. So Cernunnos is the god of the king of the animals, is what he is. And so he does represent the earthly realm. He represents those earthly things. Again, we got this is earthly, this is material, earthly beginning. It can, in this deck, this card can indicate coming into abundance into the material realm. It is a card of passion and obsession of the earthly kind, right? So there is a little bit of a, there's no doubt that some people abuse the earth and abuse the earthly abundance. So this card can indicate, a little bit of a warning. Don't go overboard, kind of thing. Whereas, kind of like the devil is associated with addictions and things that are keeping you stuck. This is a card of So it's almost a card of getting down and dirty with the raw power of nature and all the abundance that that brings. It is a card of materialism. So it teaches us how to move through the natural world, which is naturally abundant, and strike a balance of not being obsessive and not going overboard and overindulging in things, but appreciating the things that the earth provides. There is something very animal and instinctual, how we are all earthly animals, is what we are, about the message of this card too. And about enjoying the wealth that the material world provides without getting caught up in status or getting power hungry or getting greedy. Enjoying a sexual relationship and the carnal, I guess, appetites of man. We all have those sexual urges without getting obsessive about it, without getting 50 Shades of Grey about it. I'm just kidding. I haven't even read that book or watched that movie, but without getting, without going overboard, enjoying that natural sexual desire. Okay, the reason I say that is because for some of you, the Knight of Wands is a young lover, and he's a very passionate lover, but he is what do you say? How do you say this? They're not like the practical, stable kind of lover that you're going to take home to mom and dad and that you're going to think about marrying. Not yet, anyway. Not in the beginning. They're... I don't want to say they're just in it for the sex, but they do. Usually these cards indicate a very sexual relationship when they're together like that. It's a sexual relationship. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. So it could be for some of you, if you are mourning the loss of a person, like a breakup or something, you might have conjured up this sexual relationship just as a palate cleanser, right? Just to get you over this person. Like you want some excitement in your romance, in your romantic life or in your love life. You are mourning the loss of this person, so you're not sure that you're really even ready to do all that, but you would like to have some juice in your love life. Well, here it comes. All right. That's just for some of you. For some of you, your new beginning is actually in the material world. It is very abundant. Has to do with wealth or a new job or something like that. And this card is, in that case, a reminder of not to think about that, not to think about wealth and be concerned about wealth to the extinction of everything else. Relationships and adventure and fun and those kinds of things. So this Cernunnos here is saying enjoy the abundance of this. This is great abundance, but don't go overboard, kind of thing. All right, for the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, I asked just for final words of wisdom or what advice you could provide, and you got Stag, Trust and Thrive, Horned God, and the Horned Animal. Something very natural about this. You guys may be an Earth sign, actually. Something very natural about the abundance that's coming in here for this group. Okay. And for the Sacred Traveler, I asked, what does Pile 2 need to do, if anything? What action do they need to take? And you got passion and pleasure, savor your life. Okay, this is just so earthly. It's very earthy reading. There's some passion coming in. There's a passionate romance coming in for some of you guys, and you're just meant to enjoy it. Don't worry about where it's going. Don't worry about if it's just, for right now, because it might be just for right now, right? And that's okay. It's very passionate. It's a lot of fun. It's adventurous, and you should enjoy that. Trust and thrive. Trust that this abundance is coming to you because it's supposed to come to you, and it's coming to you from the earth. It's very earthy, and it's just as nature is so green and abundant. This is a very earthy abundance that's coming into you, whether that's some kind of new adventure, some kind of new job, some kind of new relationship. It's just very, very earthy. And it's great. It's so fun. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Just trust that it's supposed to, and thrive. Trust in your abundance and thrive in your abundance and savor your life. Ooh, okay, I'm going to leave it there for pile 2. You'll have to put a comment down below and tell me what this is all about. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, my friends. If you chose pile 3 with the Sodalite, these are going to be your messages for the yes or no. Pick a card. I'm going to hold off on the oracle for a minute, and I'll pull the tarot out. So for the Radiant Rider-Waite, you got the 6 of Swords, you got the 8 of Wands, and you got the Wheel of Fortune. Woo! Hallelujah. For further messages from tarot, I pulled a couple of Druid Craft tarot cards. You got the Moon, and you got the Sun. The Sun and the Moon. Oh my gosh. Well, I think you can read these cards for yourself. This is a definite yes. This is a big hallelujah yes. You do have 3 major arcana cards. You got the Wheel of Fortune, you got the Moon, and you got the Sun. So let's talk about this Moon card here. First of all, it is the major arcana for Pisces, but it is also a card of serious intuition. It's a card of stuff going on beneath the surface that you don't necessarily get to know about right now. You have been moving forward down this path in the moonlight. Got a little illumination from the moonlight, certainly not like you would get from the sun. And you've just had to use your instincts to travel down the path. You could not see your way clear to save your life, literally to save your life. There was no clear path, and you just had to use your instincts to move forward. That's where you've been, because this is where you're going. Brighter days ahead. The 6 of Swords is moving forward into a much calmer place, a better place, a brighter place. This is a woman and a little boy here in this boat. The man is steering the boat, and they are moving toward looks like an island over here. There are swords in the boat, and these swords indicate that you still have some problems. The problems are not going away overnight, right? There's still going to be some problems. However, you're moving on to brighter days. You're taking your problems with you, but you'll be better equipped to handle them as you move forward. So that's kind of where you've been, and where you are now is the Sun is the most positive card in the deck. It's joy, it's happiness. It is breaking free from the past and moving on to your absolutely abundant, happy, joyous new life. and you're breaking free. This child is androgynous, and he is a child on purpose. He's represented as a child because you're breaking free and you're moving forward with childlike abandon. That's the meaning of the card. It's so amazing. And it feels, after this feels so good. You're literally going from night to day. The dawn, the new day is dawning. The sun is coming up, and you can now see where you're going. And where you're going is full steam ahead. The Eight of Wands is new energy. It's new ideas. It's coming at you. It's coming at you from all directions, basically. Just like that. It's just seriously new vitality, new energy coming in, new creative ideas that you can take up and run with it. In a lot of Eight of Wands cards, there's a guy that has picked up one of the wands and he's thrown it. I like that depiction of it because this is saying, yeah, you got all these creative ideas coming into you, all this new energy coming into you. Maybe these are a bunch of job offers. Maybe they're, it's just whatever your dream was, you're moving forward with it, and all of these opportunities are coming into you. And the great thing about this is you know which one to take, and you can't make a mistake. Whichever one you pick up, they're all good opportunities. Whichever one you pick up with and run with, that's the one for you. Wow. Okay, so the last card that you have over here is the Wheel of Fortune. It kind of speaks for itself in this particular reading. Fortune is shining on you. The wheel is turning in your favor again, turning. It's shifting. It's totally shifting from night to day. And it's turning and the wheel is turning in your favor. This is a 10. 10s are endings and beginnings at the same time. So here we got that again. We're moving away from this. This is ending. This not being able to see clearly, not knowing what to do is ending, and this is all coming at you right now. It's a brand new day. Oh my gosh, okay. I don't know what else to say about that except congratulations. You win the jackpot on this. Okay, for the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, I just asked the question, what words of wisdom do you have for pile threes? What do they need to do? You got the card Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. So, it looks like some of you just need this message to, I don't know, why do you need this message? Exchange energy to create abundance. Like you have something, you are moving forward because you have something to offer to the world. What you put out into the world is coming back to you in the way of abundance. It's an energy exchange. 'Cause, see, people think that's what money is, and that really is what money is. It is an exchange of energy. So, there is that barter system, right? Sometimes you do things for them and they do things for you. That is also an exchange of energy. So in this type of situation, what they're saying is use what you have, what skills and strengths and what you can offer to the world, use that to create abundance in your life. And it looks like there's going to be ample opportunity coming in for you to do that. Okay, for the Sacred Traveler, I asked, what, if anything, does pile 3 need to do? What action do they need to take? And you got view from above, get the big picture. So this is just very much speaks for itself. Get the big picture. Okay. When you're looking at these options that are coming into you, you just want to be sure that you're looking at it from a higher perspective. It's like I said, you cannot make a wrong decision. Okay, so I think this is almost maybe going back to this part right here. Things are moving forward for you, and you want to look at this new situation from above. You want to look at the big picture and not get caught in the details. If you remember, I said that you are moving on to brighter days, but you are still taking some of your problems with you. Problems are petty little details. Don't get caught up in that. Get caught up in your bright and shiny future. Focus only on that which you want. Focus on, look at yourself 30 days from now. What do you want to be like? What do you want to be doing? Which one of these opportunities do you want to have taken up? And what's happening with that huge opportunity that you've been offered? Where are you sitting? Do you have a desk in a high rise? Are you working from home? And that means that you get to shut your computer off at 3 o'clock, and you get to travel around the country and be at some amazing place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you shut off your computer and go out and explore this amazing place that you're in, wherever that may be. Whatever it is that you want your bright future to look like, I think it has something to do with your business, because you got this card of trade here, exchange energy for abundance. This is just saying focus on that. Don't focus on the petty. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus on the details. Only focus on that which is wanted, what your ideal life works like, and hold that vision in your mind right now. And it shall come to pass. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for pile 3s. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Okay, if you chose pile 4 with the Cinnabar quartz crystal, these are going to be your messages for the yes or no. Pick a card. I'll hold off on these oracle for a minute. I had to look. I couldn't stop myself. So for the Rider-Waite, this is the Radiant Rider-Waite. You got the Chariot card. You got the 9 of Pentacles, and you got the Queen of Pentacles. For further clarification from Tarot, I chose a couple of Druid Craft Tarot. You got the Lord card and the Feralt, which is the Temperance card in the Radiant Rider, or in the Rider-Waite. This is an alchemist. She's making a brew. See that? Well, first of all, this is a yes, for sure. What it's a yes to, I'm not entirely sure. It's a yes to abundance. You got 2 cards of abundance here. You got the 9 of Pentacles, which is a wish fulfillment card, and you got the Queen of Pentacles, which is a very practical and abundant queen. The Queen of Pentacles is also, for me, the minor arcana for Aquarius. But this is almost the same woman here. If you notice, both of these women are surrounded by lush green. That's always an indication of abundance. Think about, the time when harvest was important. Having these berries and flowers and fruits and all that stuff around you, this bunny rabbit, having all that earthly abundance around you was not only good, it's not only good for you, it's good for the entire village. Like, this woman is living in abundance and may even be the queen and the cause of the abundance for not just her, but for her village as well, or her people, or her family. Because she's very practical, she's very good at with money. She knows how to sow the seeds and reap the harvest and what to do with it, and the business aspects of how to handle that entire transaction from planting to harvest. She knows the process. She knows who to talk to get all these jobs done. And she pays them well. She's very generous, queen. She's also very practical. She's down to earth. She's a good mother. Now, I will say this. She is probably alone. That doesn't mean that she doesn't have children, because if you notice, she looks at this coin rather wistfully. That indicates to me that she is single. Sometimes she wishes that she was in a relationship, but she's not. Same goes for this woman right here. She has so much abundance all around her. 9 pinnacles. That's almost all of the pinnacles. She has the lush green and the grapes on the vine to make the wine with. But she also looks at this bird a little wistfully, which says that she is alone. And she kind of sometimes wishes for a mate, though not all the time. Most of the time she's very happy. She has friends, she has family. She has a great job that she loves, and she is really, really good at. And people go to her for advice because she's very practical. She's down to earth. She gives really good advice. She's just a solid queen. So this is the card of self-sufficiency. Both of them, very self-sufficient women. Okay, so that's a yes for abundance if you're asking about money. If you're asking whether you'll get the money you expected, or the money's coming in, or you're getting a job, or that kind of stuff, that's a yes. So what we have over here is pretty, they're not connected, I guess, is what I would say. There's some interesting messages here, but how they connect with this or to each other, not real sure. Well, I do see one thread, and the thread is balancing. You have the Chariot card here, and this is a card of balancing opposing forces to reach your goal, to go after your goal and to reach it. If you notice, he's got the sun or the star, the night sky behind him here in this Chariot, which indicates to me there's some wish fulfillment in this as well. There's a wish that's out there that you guys want to have fulfilled, that you would like to see fulfilled. And in this particular case, it's going to require balancing some things in order for it to happen. Now, that can be any 2 things that you could possibly imagine. It could be balancing work life with family life. It could be balancing your need to party with your need to pay your bills. It could be anything, really. But this card says that you have the strength, the will, and the determination to strike the middle ground and to work toward your goals and to balance everything that needs to be balanced. So this is a little bit of another card of balance, so we'll talk about that. This is in Major Arcana is the Temperance. In the Druid Craft Tarot, it's the Feralt, and that is Okay, I have to read this out of the book because I don't know this. I don't know as much about the Druids as I should. I'm learning because these are my people. These are where my people came from. So I'm learning as much as I can. That's why I got this deck. But okay, so this says it is Beltane, which is the May Day festival in the Celtic tradition or in the Druid tradition. In the distance, we see Glastonbury Tor and Chalice Hill on the horizon, joined by a rainbow. In the foreground, we see Brigid, I think is how you say it, Brighid. She is both Brigid, the goddess of flame, and holy well, and a woman in her service, a feralt or druid alchemist who combines the power of fire and water to create harmony, balance, and transformation. Okay. I had to read that because from there it is the same as just the regular temperance in the Rider-Waite deck, but that is the Druid kind of influence on the card. So you got the Chariot, balancing opposing forces to move forward towards your goal, and you've got the Feralt, blending not opposing forces, but a little bit of this and a little bit of that to create something new. The Lord card is like the Emperor card in the Rider-Waite deck. This guy is the Emperor. He is the boss. He is the Lord of the Manor. He is the masculine. He uses control and order to rule the kingdom, basically. So you get this card a lot of times when you're establishing yourself out in the world, and you're doing that through your personal power and through the masculine order, through using power and control in a methodical method and using your brains and making the tough decisions and not letting your heart rule your head. It's masculine energy. This is the major arcana for Aries, major arcana for Cancer, major arcana for Sagittarius, minor arcana for Aquarius. Those may be you, or they may, those signs may play into your situation here, or maybe it's just the energies of the cards that we're talking about. Okay, so I think this is definitely a yes. This is a yes for abundance. It's definitely a yes for building wealth, for money coming to you. I feel like for some of you, it is after establishing yourself in the world, a new job. Are you becoming the boss? Are you getting a promotion? Will you have to travel with your work? Maybe. Are you going to be a pharmacist or a chemist? I don't know. It's going to be different for all of you. But your abundance is going to come through the father order. It's going to come through the masculine establishing yourself in the world kind of thing. You get this card a lot of times when you're leaving home too, right? You've lived at home and you've just been receiving your whole life. Your parents pay for your food, your clothing, your shelter, all kinds of stuff for you. Now it's time to establish yourself out in the world. So you will do that through a balancing opposing forces, and in some cases that balance includes mixing a bit of this and that, mixing them together instead of trying to keep them separate. And by mixing them together, you create harmony and balance and peace in your life. And you also create something that's new. Interesting that I use that example of oh, that was the last reading. I used an example of dreaming about just focusing on what it is that you want, and maybe you want to work remotely so that you can have more time in your life and to have fun and enjoy things. This is almost like maybe if you're working from home, you're having to balance the work life with the home life, but this is saying you have to blend them together. Like before, you had to balance them, but they were separate. Now you have to balance them and they're in the same place. So you have to use a little bit of this and a little bit of that to blend it together and create a whole new kind of work dynamic. All right, so for the angels and ancestors, I asked just basically what words of wisdom could you provide. And you got Knight, be brave and honest. For the Sacred Traveler, I asked what, if anything, does pile 4 need to do? And you got overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. Okay, that's interesting. So it looks like there's something in the way of you establishing yourself out in the world, getting a promotion or something like that. Might have something to do with this balance, there's obstacles around how do you balance two things to do this. There's an obstacle there. And this is saying that you can overcome anything. You can work it out. You will work through it. You do have the determination and the willpower and everything that you need to, and this guy is just, he's not slowly meandering through this process here. He is powering through here. So you guys have the intestinal fortitude, the internal fortitude to be able to overcome the obstacles to do this, to establish yourself in the world. And the key to overcoming your obstacles is being honest. Being honest with yourself, being honest with your bosses, being honest with your mate, husband, wife, lover, whatever. Being honest with your children. You have to, it's gonna, and you know, it's definitely gonna require some bravery. That's just those are very fierce people right there. Looks like you're just going to have to be honest with all the people. I do realize that this is vague, and it's still very vague, and I think it's just going to be different for all of you, whatever it is that you're trying to balance here, and how you're trying to establish yourself in the world. It has something to do with the way of business. It's how you want to make money. But it's going to require some bravery, and it's going to require some honesty to power through this. And to make these opposing things harmonious, to bring these opposing things together in a place of harmony and creating something new. I'm going to have to leave that there. I don't even know what I would clarify. Like if this was a personal reading, we could probably figure out together what it is that we're talking about here and find out what the questions are that are needed to clarify this situation. But since this is a general reading, I have to leave that there. Until next time, I'm sending you guys lots of light and love. Namaste.